Hey everyone, Panem here again, and today, well, it's our first official video as a team here on Panem. Myself and Felix.
Huzzah!
Yeah, we'll do a quick recap about the World Championship celebration event we had going a week or two ago, and basically, Felix here was able to get this awesome looking deck divider, which looks gorgeous. I mean, would you look at that? And he got 3 of these little tablets to write your life score, I guess, basically.
On a side note, guys, I just need to say this. I am so salty about one brick! TLDR. First big tournament I'm at. Carta Magica at Montreal. I break with that one guy, lose that one round, that's going to lose me the whole match. I will win every subsequent one against Gookies. I'm going to win against, technically, Mech Knight. I mean, a whole slew of rogue guys. I'm just going to... I got so lucky I faced a Trap Tricks guy that didn't know about the ban list. So he was...
The Trickstar guy.
He Trickstars, yes. He was running a gimped Trickstar, which is one reincarnation and scoop. I had a buy, for crying out loud.
And he still did not top.
But because I lost the first match with a stupid mistake of mine in one brick. So every guy that made the top 8 did not lose a match. That's why I didn't make it.
So close yet so far.
Table flip applied.
So basically the only thing our team was able to get was Felix's deck divider, so that is still very neat, and honestly, after going to 2 events, being able to get something was pretty cool. It's swell. Sadly, I wasn't able to participate myself because I was going to a different event. You can see the video. I'll put the video in the description box below for the Otakuton 2018. But yeah, basically that's how we spent our weekend last time. And today we will be reviewing the brand new structure deck POWERCODE Link. So brand new, a lot of reprints, but a few interesting new cards. If you have a little comment about those new cards while I open this.
Shall do. So the big piece for the upcoming release is pretty big. That you want this deck to... Wow, my English is terrible. The big piece you want to grab for the upcoming decks. Cyberse Gadget. He's going to be one of your playmakers. Simple TLDR, play this guy. If you have a Cyberse level 2 or lower to your graveyard, special summon it, no effect. If he's used for a link, let's say special normal summon in special secretary, guess what, guys? Link 2, this guy leaves a token behind its Cyberse. Can be used for anything. So, bam, you got your, let's say, Transcolor Talker. Transcolor Talker brings back your grade 2. You're good, you're set, you got your field. It's super easy. Just put 2 cards out of your hand. And you have 2 links on the field. Number 2, Flame Buffalo. I was a bit skeptical about this guy until I read him better and then I understood I can do things with you. Number 1, Silent Backdoor. Banish this guy, he'll come back next standby phase. Draw 1 card from your hand as a Cyberse monster, draw 2. That's technically 3 cards out of your deck into your hand. You just drop 1, that's it.
And this is from the first Cyberse deck, by the way, guys. Deck. So those are the 2 big decks you want to go after if you want to start collecting / playing Cyberse. The first one and the newest one. Those are the main ones.
Coming with the Flame Buffalo, Garbage Collector. That was an all-rounder. Very simple. Target 1 of your Cyberse on the field, bounce it to your hand, and then fetch your deck for 1 of the same level. Can't be anything else. So, don't like this guy? Boom, back to your hand. Let's say you want, I don't know, shenanigan. You want secretary. I don't see why. Sure. But in there somewhere, hidden between the veils of my deck, I'm finally going to get it. You're going to get Widget Kid. And that's the real gold here. Widget Kid allows you to special summon any Cyberse from your hand when he's summoned at all. So, bounce Buffalo, get him on the field, special summon anything from your hand. By the way, Buffalo lift the field. Discard Buffalo, draw 2. Magic! He pays for his own cost.
And this is from the previous, or actually the latest, starter deck, which is also something you really want to get your hands on at least twice if you want to make a Cyberse deck. So like the original deck a couple times, the latest starter deck a couple times, and the latest structure deck a couple times. So that's like a $50 investment, but you have a pretty decent Cyberse deck with a lot of extra cards to mingle with. You can trade them, you can collect them, you can do as you please. That's not a bad investment for Cyberse, because they will get very powerful very soon when the next structure deck hits.
And the big reason for that, by the way, fellas, is that we're going to be getting material use from your hand. And those all have effect upon use if you made a Code Talker. Chief of which, one will search for you a level 4 lower. One will negate a monster's effect on the field and get their attack to 0. One of them doubles the attack of a Code Talker. The last one changes monster's position, and something else I have forgotten. We're also getting an honest 4 Cyberse, by the way, guys. I love this. And look at this beautiful artwork. Look at it.
This is actually the most awesome little free paper playmat you get. From all the decks since Cyberse came out, this is the best mat included, hands down. Don't get me wrong, guys. There are some pretty awesome ones out there, but if this was rubber and affordable, definitely buy it.
I would run it. It's just a shame that they won't. I wish Konami would release the artworks for these without the marking and without the branding. Just put it out there, put a Konami symbol at the top or watermark. I don't mind. I would pay for this. Of course, then I would print it onto a rubber mat and do my own shenanigans. Point is, people,
still very nice.
There's money to be made. Do you guys like money? Actually, I'm just remembering the Metal Gear shit. You know what? I said nothing. Move on, Michael.
Well, it's still cool money.
You can print money with this. Nah, nobody likes this.
We always have this little promotion thing for Duel Links, which I guess some people do enjoy. I did play it for a while, and it was fun.
Nobody cares! I kid.
So yeah, we'll review the deck quickly. The newest code monster is POWERCODE Talker. Not a bad card, but still not a great one. You only get one zone with this one, and basically it does have the best material necessity, I guess. It's 3 monsters. That's it. So you can use 3 tokens from Scapegoat, and boom, you've got it. You've got an easy POWERCODE Talker on the field. And this guy can target one face-up monster on the field and negate that target's effect until the end of the turn, once per turn. That's only on your turn, but it's still very powerful.
Which is a shame, mind you. I was hoping so hard that he would be the answer to so many blocks this deck has. Either player's turn, negate one monster's effect. I would love it.
It also has the quick effect of doubling attack, which is also pretty good, but you have the tribute stuff and blah blah. It's not great. Maybe just play 1 in your extra deck, but I mean, it's not the best. It's still decent. It's the easiest one to summon if you have a brick field or something. We also have Segmental Dragon, which is basically like, I think it's Fuzzler Dragon, the old level 8 machine dragon looking thing that was... But yeah, it's basically the same thing. You can normal summon this card without tributing, but the attack and def is halved. And once per turn, this card
can actually destroy
leaves
every
the
monster
field.
with a weaker stat than he has in attack.
Yeah.
So one of the old 1-2 combo I can see working for him was special summon him, silent backdoor on him,
Yep.
fetch something that's 26 or lower, which is basically anything in the deck, literally. He comes back next standby phase, full attack, can attack life point directly, and can destroy anything weaker than himself.
Which
Only
honestly is good.
pickle is, A, you need to draw silent backdoor. So
Yeah.
all right. Second, that's going to be a 1 turn he's not active.
Fair.
So
I mean, it's
you
fair.
can't cash the resources. You need to survive. Then again, right now, that's the name of the game with the Cyberse. They're going to be they're a
Surviving.
1-2 punch. Put something on the field, probably gets destroyed during your opponent's turn. Pray they don't make a U. Next turn is yours. And when the next turn happens, you can actually come back twice as hard.
And so we also have Sea Archiver. This card is a easy monster to use, honestly. If a monster is normal or special summon to a zone link monster points to, you can special summon this from your graveyard or hand, but banish it when it leaves the field. It's not bad, honestly. It's just very situational, and I mean, it looks cool at least.
You would basically go something like WizKid into Archiver and then link into something, and if you have something then to call in the field, let's say Secretary Archiver would come back, but
It's situational.
Yeah.
We have Flame Buffalo, which Felix described earlier. Very good for cycling through your deck, basically, and there are a lot of combos usable with it, but it will become better when the hand materials basically do come out.
Because you can just play him, hand material him. There you go, goodbye, you've cashed on it.
We have Lady Debug, which is the first official Cyberse monster that can search other Cyberse cards, basically.
I'm unstoppable!
So, if this card is normal with special summon, you can add one level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand, but you can only use that effect once per turn. But basically, Widget Kid does special summon this. This searches for, let's say, Secretary, and boom, you've got your Link 3. It did not go too well, but it's still a better feel than not having anything, and it all started with 2 cards. But still, there are some way better combos than that.
If it's worth anything, guys, this little dude, I can't say it enough.
He'll come pretty soon.
So, let's say you go Widget Kid, this guy. Bounce Widget Kid, special summon her from the deck. Her effect still works.
Yep.
It's still a plus. So,
Special
if anything,
from the deck.
Combo into her. So, special summon from the deck, go into Secretary, or I don't know what you have in your hand right now. You can have a Monster Reborn or a World Legacy Succession. You name it. You can just start to go off with that. The only pickle is, that's the name of the deck right now, you need cards to special summon.
Yeah.
Or normal summon. So that's why I still recommend to this day to run Widget Kid and Balancing Lord. My apologies. Take it over, my dude.
We have Data Corn. Basically, when this is summoned, you get a token. That's nice, but it's only once per turn. But it's special summon, so, you know, do be wary of that.
Corn Hub still better. Moving on.
We have Garbage Collector, the card Felix just presented. Basically, this has some very great synergy with Bufferlo, which we mentioned previously. But yeah, if we do have Secretary...
Yep, coming right up.
We summon Collector, special Secretary, target Secretary to get back to the hand, special Bufferlo from deck, use Bufferlo to discard Secretary because the opponent already knows that it's there and you can't special summon her back or anything. But basically, when you will do your Link 2, you'll discard Secretary and draw 2, which is honestly a very good way to go through your deck. And you've got a Link 2, but your 2 cards you drew might help you go off very well. You never know what will happen with this deck, which is kind of the point, I guess, of having the main character in the anime's deck. We have Entialian. It's a decent card, honestly. It's a beat stick of 1900 attack, and once per turn, if it battled a monster, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one Cyberse monster, and that's during either player's turn, which is pretty neat.
And we all know there's only one target for such a comeback.
And if this leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you draw a card, which is nice.
And it's the mighty Dotscaper! My apologies, I had to do that. Move on, my dude.
Dotscaper is a great card. You need it in your deck, guys. At least once, that's for sure.
For Cyberse, you need it.
We have Storm Cypher, yet another card from the mat. This one is a big beat stick that can't attack directly or monsters in the extra monster zone, but it is protected by a lot of stuff, and that's pretty neat with the 2400 attack monster. We have Cyberse Gadget, previously mentioned. This guy helps you special summon some level 2 or lowers from your graveyard. It doesn't have to be Cyberse, so hand traps like Effect Veiler or Droll and Logbird would still be affected by this special summon, which is neat.
And when he leaves the field, by the way, guys, for a Link summon, you do get a token that is Cyberse, so
yeah.
Cyberse exclusive cards can still be summoned this way.
So if you used, for example, an Effect Veiler on the opponent's turn, and now it's your turn, you summon this, get Effect Veiler back, go into a Link 2 or a level 5 Synchro, like Catastor, which would be pretty funny. But yeah, then you get a token to go further into your combos. We have a reprint of Julagedo, which is a kind of a hand trap-ish. We have Mecha Phantom Beast, because, you know, Mecha Phantoms get a lot of summon going. We have 2 Reborn Tengus, good reprints in my opinion, but not a lot of people like them. If you want to play them, play 3. That's all I can say about that. Skullmaster, a hand trap, basically like Ghost Bell, but not quite the same.
I was actually wondering about a little ruling. Can this guy act in the same manner as Call by the Grave?
Skullmaster does not banish, and it does not stop the opponent from using the effect for the next 2 turns, basically.
You know, I don't want to explain it this way. Let's say somebody Ash. Can I Skullmaster to Ash?
When a card effect is activated on your opponent's graveyard, you can send this card. No, you can't stop Ash with this.
Because she's in the hand, right? Is that it?
Well, it's basically Ash
activates in the hand. It doesn't activate in the graveyard.
Right. Because I wanted to know, but if it's the cost of this card, then she's in the grave now. Does she activate in the grave, or does she activate back?
Well, she activates where the cost happens, but she resolves where she ends up. We have Goblinberg, Phantom Skyblaster, Gen X Ally Birdman, a lot of reprints for special summoning stuff. Effect Veiler, which is something we wanted to see. Not as much as Drawl and Lock, which this kind of replaces, which is kind of very sad, actually. A lot of people were hoping for Drawl here. The OCG had it, which would have been very nice.
Boy.
We have Medical Merchant, because why not? Cosmic Compass, again. Launcher Commander, and that's it for the monsters. It's about time. Now let's get on to the spells. Silent Storm, a field spell, which basically is just...
Turbo.
It's not decent enough to be played. We have Night Beam, because why not? Offerings to the Doomed, Forbidden Chalice, not a bad card. We got Scapegoat, which is not bad. It will not be touched for a bit, because it just got reprinted again. We have Swords of Revealing Light.
This card on the deck, by the way, guys. I'm warning you.
Yeah, Scapegoat is a must-play in any Cyberse / Link deck.
Just to give you an idea, Link Kuriboh is then used with a token to make a Nightmare. Use a token to make another Link Kuriboh, because you can just come back from the grave to be the level 1, which a token are.
Mm-hmm.
So make another Nightmare if you want, or leave him in the grave. Go just for level 3 with Power Code, or anything else really. You go off.
Scapegoat is a must.
You will go off.
It is the GOAT, greatest of all time. We have Reasoning, Fires of Doomsday, 1-for-1, which is good for Korn, but is also good for Dotscaper. Yep. We have Terraforming, which is a terrible idea because you don't want to play this field spell. We have Packet Link, which is kind of a new card, honestly.
I'm sort of interested. Here's the catch. You can summon as many level 2 or lower from your deck to place available by Link monsters. So let's say you would have a Tri-Gate Wizard at the middle of your map.
Well, it's hand, deck, or graveyard.
Yes. You do have a lot of options. The catch here is, how often are you going to have zones open with the current level of the Cyberse? It's going to be very unlikely. If we'd be in the future with the hand material, maybe one.
It's just not good enough.
But it's not reliable. It would need to be a
new,
spell.
it's fun, but it's not good. It would have been better to be a spell, yes. We have Wild Tornado, we have Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare, which is not a bad card, just not as decent as it could have been if it was, let's say, Solemn Warning or something like that in this deck. But who cares at this point? We have Blazing Mirror Force, Trap Stun, Save Zone, which is honestly decent as a reprint. We have Call of the Haunted, pardon me. We have Reckless Greed and Debunk, which honestly, this is a fun little trap. And when a monster effect is activated in the hand or graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, banish it. And it's a counter trap, so good luck chaining to this. And finally, we have our 2 other Link monsters to go with our Power Code. And yeah, they're decent, but they would have been way more interesting if they had come out, let's say, at the beginning of the era of Links overall. I mean, Landfo Rinchus is not a bad card. I mean, 2 monsters and you get 2 zones to your field.
Can be token, can be...
It's basically like Proxy Dragon, except that instead of having arrows to the side, it's towards your field. And at the same time, I mean, you don't have an effect. But this Traffic Ghost is just such a bad idea. It's 3 monsters, which is swell, and you do get to use your own field, but you could easily use the same options or the same materials to go into a Power Code, to go into your Nightmare boards, to go into a lot of things. It's only 1800. You don't want it to be there anymore afterwards. It's just ridiculous.
And the other pickle is, why go for these guys when you have Nightmares that are easily accessible both by the market and by trade? But just one note, if I may. I thought about it to you a little bit. I sort of want to talk about Blazing Mirror Force right now because of the numbers of times this deck could fail you, whatnot, or just in general. Listen up, guys. Destroy every monster attacking you right now. Add up their attack. Break that calculator out, my dude. And then cut it in half, and you yourself take that. If you're still alive, which is a somewhat likely scenario because you've only took half damage, your opponent takes that much as well. And this deck is all about comeback right now, so it's a bit of a daredevil tactic, I'm not going to lie, and I don't really suggest it. I'm crazy enough to run it. I'm going to admit it. Yeah, I would say it. Run it. You've just emptied the field, inflicted half damage if you're lucky enough. That's 3 to 4 monsters. Then again, with Nightmare Phoenix, once again, you got to be crazy to run it. But it's just crazy enough it might do something. My apologies.
No, it's fine. Good insight. So basically, this deck revolves around just a few cards that are very interesting. If you guys want to buy the whole deck, go ahead and do it. But if you want to buy singles, these are the interesting staples slash not necessarily deck worthy, but still pretty interesting. Scapegoat, Effect Veiler, and Data Corn. But the other cards that are very interesting in this deck are obviously Flame Buffalo, Lady Debug, Garbage Collector, Cyberse Gadget, and PowerCode Talker. Well, maybe once or twice is enough. You don't need more than that. But, I mean, these are the chase cards of this deck. Chase being a very big word for this situation because obviously you are guaranteed them. But, I mean, you know what I mean, guys. It's basically, these are the cards you want to play after buying this deck. If you want to play a pure Cyberse deck with only the cards from here, you can do it. It's not great, but it will be playable. But if you do buy the other starter decks and stuff like that, most of the cards needed for a good Cyberse deck can be found in the starters slash structure decks. You don't need necessarily to buy packs, maybe except for Firewall or Borreload cards, Borrel cards in general. But those are the big boss monsters you don't necessarily need when you play a good Talker deck. But yeah, that'll conclude our little review today. It took a little longer than planned, but it was still worth it because we had some good insight, we had a good review, and we went over every little detail that was relevant about this deck. If you have any final words? We'll take it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. And until next time, guys, it's been a pleasure, and Penem out.
Peace!